Today, on the Barricade Guard Show, we are going to discuss how to use smart home accessories, scenes, and automations to deter criminals and give you advance notice if someone is trying to break into your home. Home invasions in the United States occur about once every 30 seconds. Average police response times to burglary calls can be 18 minutes or more, and police only solve about 13% of these crimes. While I'm very thankful for dedicated law enforcement officers, it would not be prudent to rely on police officers responding to your 911 call as your only means of protecting your family that God has entrusted to your care. But what about prayer? Shouldn't we just pray, trust God, and not worry? Yes, we should pray, but we should also act. Just like you would pray and seek medical treatment for a sick child, we should pray and take tangible steps to protect our families. Paragraph 2265 of the Catechism of the Catholic Church tells us that protecting yourself and your family can be a right, a duty, and a responsibility. Legitimate defense can be not only a right, but a grave duty for one who is responsible for the lives of others. The defense of the common good requires that an unjust aggressor be rendered unable to cause harm. For this reason, those who legitimately hold authority also have the right to use arms to repel aggressors against the civil community entrusted to their responsibility. If you are a parent, then your family is the community entrusted to your responsibility. And while the use of arms is a topic for another episode, we can start by putting into place some basic protections in our homes. Thankfully, there are many steps you can take to deter criminals and give yourself more time to react to a break-in. In this episode, we are going to cover a few ways that you can use scenes and automations in the Apple Home app to level up your home security. Before we begin, it's important to note that you will need an Apple Home Hub, either an Apple TV streaming device or a HomePod, in order to utilize the functionality we are going to discuss. Once you have that in place, it's time to start having some fun. Quick side note, I'm a bit of an IT geek who also happens to have a passion for home security, so don't mind me if I seem a bit too excited when sharing some of this information. First, let's start by talking about which smart home accessories will give you the most home security options. And for this, we'll start with motion sensors. By placing motion sensors in strategic locations inside and outside of your home, you will be able to trigger actions like doors locking and lights turning on or off. My favorite standalone motion sensors are made by Eve, and I like these because they are compatible with Apple Home and don't require any additional hubs to be used. Aqara also makes a popular option, but these do require an Aqara hub in addition to the motion sensor. Some smart cameras and doorbells claim to include motion sensing, but most are using pixel-based detection to detect video motion, as opposed to using the passive infrared or PIR sensors that are found in most standalone motion detectors. And the PIR sensors are much better suited for triggering automations based on motion in your home. Unfortunately, the pixel-based motion detection in most smart cameras triggers very easily and does not make for a reliable or enjoyable experience. When I started building my smart home years ago, I installed Logitech Circle 2 cameras throughout my home, which included both pixel-based and PIR motion detection. But Logitech no longer sells that model, and their follow-up, the Logitech Circle View, does not include a PIR sensor. The good news is that the Circle View costs significantly less than the old Circle 2, so you can pick up a Circle View and a standalone motion sensor for about the same price as the old Circle 2 camera. The bad news is that now you have to have two accessories visible in your home in locations where you previously could have gotten away with using just a Circle 2 camera. Even though the new Logitech cameras don't include a PIR sensor, I do still prefer the Logitech Circle options when it comes to smart cameras and doorbells. Other popular options are available from Eve, Ecobee, and Wemo, but when it comes to cameras, Logitech has been in the game the longest, and their products are the most refined. However, if you're specifically looking for an outdoor camera with an integrated floodlight, the Eve Outdoor Cam is the way to go. When it comes to plugs and switches, Wemo is my go-to resource. I use these to control lights throughout my home, which is a key element to setting up home security scenes. And their current plug and switch, at the time I am making this video, both include thread support, which improves response times and lessens Wi-Fi network congestion. You can add a Wemo plug or switch to any lights that you would like, but for security purposes, try to think about key locations inside and outside of your home that you would like to light up if someone was trying to break in. Last, but not least, in today's list of smart home accessories is the Yale Smart Lock. This is a stylish, high-quality lock with an intuitive touchscreen, a 9-volt battery unlock option, deadbolt and lever designs, and other great features that I could make a whole video about. But for this episode's purposes, it is a reliable way to lock or unlock your doors automatically, depending on the trigger event. Alright, now that you have your smart home accessories in place, it's time to set up your scenes. Scenes are a way to group accessories together and choose the state that you want them in when you activate the scene. For instance, a good morning scene might turn on your kitchen lights and set your smart thermostat to a comfortable temperature. But for security purposes, I'm going to recommend at least two scenes: good night and motion detected. For your good night scene, you'll want to include your lights, or the plugs and switches that control your lights, and your locks. Set your locks to be locked when you run the scene, and set your lights as desired. You'll likely want to turn off your indoor lights, but leave on at least some of your outdoor lights. Home invaders would generally prefer not to break into a house in a well-lit area. If you have a smart thermostat, you can include that in your goodnight scene as well to automatically set a comfortable sleeping temperature, but obviously that isn't necessary for security purposes. For your motion detected scene, you'll want to add most of the lights that you are using with smart plugs and switches. I would recommend having this scene turn on every light that you can outside of your house and on the first floor or common areas of your house. I would also recommend having this scene turn on lights in the bedroom that you sleep in, and possibly the bedroom of a child that is old enough to assist with rounding up their brothers and sisters. This way, when motion is detected after the time of your choosing, the first floor and outdoor lights will startle and deter the would-be intruder, and the bedroom lights turning on will wake you and alert you that it's time to check your cameras and determine if it's time to go back to bed or put your home defense plan into action. And in order for your motion detected scene to work, you'll need to set up an automation for each motion detector that you have to set the motion detected scene when motion is detected during the time period that you choose. For details on how to create scenes and automations with the Home app, I have included a link in the show notes below. I know this can get a bit technical, so let me know in the comments if you would like additional videos that walk you through any of this step by step. The last tip I'll leave you with won't prevent anyone from getting into your home, but it might help you and your loved ones get out of your home when moments count. Imagine you wake up in the middle of the night to the sound of your smoke alarm and your scared children screaming from their bedrooms. Panic sets in as you smell the smoke and realize this is not a drill. If your house is filling with smoke and you're frantically trying to evacuate you and your children, do you really want to be doing that in the dark and then have to unlock a deadbolt just to get out? If not, install a few First Alert Onelink smoke detectors in your home and create a panic scene that turns on every light in your house and unlocks every door. This way, if your family wakes up to the devastating realization that your house is on fire, you can have a well-lit path to an unlocked exit. In this episode, we talked about how we can use the Apple Home app and smart home accessories to provide some basic home security. But what else can you do to make your home an unattractive target that is difficult to breach? Join me next time when we'll discuss steps you can take to deter home invaders and harden your entrances. What do you think about these smart home security tips? Do you have other ideas to share? Let me know in the comments below. Also, if you found this video helpful, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might benefit from it as well. Don't forget to follow the Barricade Guard on Facebook, X, and Instagram. The links are in the show notes below. And until next time, fortify your soul, body, and family.